Hey guys, I'm going to pause it really quickly as we get ready. All right, guys, thank you for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and get started. So today we're going to be taking a look at making cards since we are getting close to the holiday season. But I do also want to touch on postcards as well towards the end. And then I'll briefly also show door hangers that was requested. So I will do that towards the end as well. Okay. So first up, we're going to take a look at command. Now I was already signed in, so it took me straight into command. If you are going through and you're following along, it's probably going to have you sign in. You're going to put in your login information, and then you're going to come over. It's probably going to take you straight to the dashboard. You're going to come over to this designs section here on the left-hand side. So white bar, all these little guys, it's the one that has the paintbrush, and you hover over, it says design. So you click that and you're going to end up here. So to do cards, if you've never dabbled around in designs before, you're going to come over to the top right-hand side and click create design. So when you do this, you have some different options. We've gone through some of these other ones at different times. So social would have your Facebook post or Instagram, those types of things. Print is going to have your business cards and your cards. So let's click that today and continue. And let it load for a second. There we go. All right, so now that we are in our prints section, you can see they have a lot of different things like flyers. There's all of these different tabs over on the side, collections as well. For more information for those, KWRI starter kit. But most of the cards are going to be under holiday, just because that is typically the nature, but I'm going to show you where you can find thank you cards as well. So here you would just click the month. Now there's nothing in October or November. They don't have Halloween cards or anything like that. But you can see when you get in to December, we do have our holiday cards. Whenever you hover over something, you can see, I don't move. There you go. The back of it as well. So it's a 2-page. This is going to be your postcard. Here's another one. All right. And then here's your last postcard. Now, I don't know exactly why. You can see standard postcards, those 3 show up. There are actual holiday cards as well. So I'm going to type into the side here in the search bar in the top right, holiday. This isn't perfect, right? But now you can see some other ones that we have. And then if you come over here, this is an Instagram story. We're looking for ones that have, I'm letting it load here, where it looks like the image is upside down. And when it is upside down, that is actually because it's so that you can fold it. Come on. Sorry, guys, my computer is having a hard time loading today. All right, where did they go? Let's come back over. Let's see if Christmas pops anything up. Merry Christmas, happy holiday. There are tree ones that I'm looking for. Can't find them now. All right, let me go back to where we were and keep going. There are cards, I'm trying to find them. I don't know why I can't find them in this moment. So I wanted you to see what the cards look like. And now they're gone. Murphy's Law. Yeah, and I will say, so Command is really great in that they're always making the designs for us, right? Which is awesome. Sometimes they like change things out. So like because they come up with like new Halloween designs and new this and new that. And it looks like maybe they're in a transition because my stuff that I was looking at like 3 days ago is gone. So we'll keep going with this. So I'm going to type in the word card here. This is another way you can find some stuff. There we go. And see, here's an example of what I was trying to find. So this says thank you. And again, if I'm hovering over, you can see it's got 2. Now you see that this is upside down. That's because when you fold it, you print it and then you fold it in half. So we can take a look at this. This is just a general thank you card. So let's start here. All right, so I've popped out the two pages here. So your first one, if you maybe don't like this color, if you've not played around with designs before, it's very similar to most editing things. So you click on to what you're wanting to edit, and it gives me an option here. I could put in a photo if I wanted to. So maybe, not that I actually would, but if I wanted this whole thing to be my face, not that we would, but if you had a background, then you can change that, right? I'm just going to go back and click Control Z. So how I did that was I clicked onto the background and I clicked this convert to image box, and that changes the whole background to one thing. Now for a card, unless it's something like a sky or something like that, you have to be mindful of the fact that you're going to have it upside down on one of the sides. So whether you face it up way, you know, it's going to be a little bit tricky. So probably just a color, but if you wanted to do something like a sky background or clouds or something, you know. So set background color. I'm not really jiving with this color. I like blues. So I'm going to apply that. That's way too bright. Whew. We're going to get it printed professionally, right? I'm not going to eat my ink. And then now I'm going to click onto this guy here. I can do different filters if I wanted to change how dark it is. See, I'm kind of like making it blend in. Filters here. So this one isn't allowing me to actually change the specific color, but I can edit it a little bit because of these filters. So I want to put it in grayscale, Nordic, the blues, make it yellow. So it's not perfect, but I can change things a little bit. So I'm going to make that gray. Ooh, too far. Oh, it changed my thing too. Well, that's good to know. So that means that this is not a clear background. So a transparent background. I'm going to put Control Z. I'm going to undo that. If you wanted to put your own in here, you can change that out. Remove image background actually would allow me to make that edit if I needed to. That's a fun little trick I just did. And if you've ever seen this, you can drop on an image in general, but just to point this out, it does a decent job. I think I've shown this in one of my last ones of taking out the background. So you are able to, if you wanted to like throw yourself on here. Thank you. Because you just like, we like to throw our faces on everything. All right. So moving on with that though. So now I've got this how I want it. I'm going to come over to the second page. And this is where it's got a pre-written little thing, right? So it's dear recipient. You're going to edit this to Dear Alex. And we're going to highlight our little Latin phrasing here. Thank you so much for bringing hot buys and donuts. Ooh, we're here. There we go. For us today. Prosper Insurance is the best. All right, DBA real estate, so doing business as, this just wants your name. Put on anything that you need to card probably doesn't have to like meet D4 standards, but let's just go ahead and do it because I like to make sure there's no worries ever. All right, so it does have your logo here, and then each office is independently. So it has its own little self-done thing. This one here, if you've not been to one of these classes before, this is technically our regional VA, West Virginia. If you look up DBA for this area, you type in our market center, it's going to give you this one here. I personally would just use the general KW. So to do that change, I'm going to do images, add, and actually, let's go stock workplace. Where's our logos? Oh, sorry. There we go. So on the side here, logos, KW. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to click the guy that I want, and I'm going to hover him over where this one was. And it's just going to swap it right out. I'm going to center it a little more. And it gives you these guides. Again, very similar to most photo editing sites. So it gives you guides, space it however. You can use any of these ones that you would like. It's got them all in there already for you. And then you can just set it up to print, change the title if you need to, order print. And so this is a great feature, just like how Canva, we're going to see it has this as well. You are actually able to set everything up through designs. So you can get the printing done with all these different options. They actually have a few more options, I think, than Canva does. So I can do a silk print, a gloss print, a matte print, or the uncoated would just be like cardstock. And then you put your number of copies in here. So you can see the pricing has how much per. So if I do this, here's our total. You're probably, if you're doing like holiday cards or something like that, if you're trying to hit your whole database, depending on how large it is, 100, 200 people. So we'll say 100. So it's $50. And then you're going to have to also think about your delivery, your stamps. Yeah, exactly. Unless you're going to be dropping them off or however that looks like, right? So you can also pick the weight. So if you want them to be thicker, then we're going to continue. You would review everything, say, yes, I want this, and go from there. You'll see this, Canva has this as well, but it wants to make sure everything is within the green lines. So it kind of discusses what it is. So bleed area, likely your image is going to go to the end of it, right? So in theory, anything that's in that red should show up, but we don't want to have words there just in case. The blue is, you could have maybe, so some of these sites in the red area might warp the image on the outside. Usually color is best, or maybe if you're okay having a little bit of warp like those, you know, nothing that's super crisp, that red should be fine. The blue is your safer area, so that's going to still be fine. But again, let's keep words out of it. And then your green is where you can have all your letters. So in this case, everything is within that area. So we are good. And then it's going to make you download a proof to review and make sure you agree to it. And then you'll do agree, and then you can continue and actually purchase the order. So here's my There we go. And this one I was, just so you know, some of this is cut off, and that's just from when I was clicking Control Z because I was being lazy and it messed up the cropping at some stage. All right, and here's my second page. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that's that one. Let's come back on here and search for a few more. Let's do a postcard. Now, with the postcard, of course, you don't have to have the envelopes as well. So it is a little bit easier. It just depends on what you're wanting to do. And this all, again, you can edit all of this. Honestly, I like their design, so I wouldn't really bother too much with that. And then same exact thing, come over and update these as you need to. With this, if you wanted to throw on some lines, you could do that. So shapes, there's my line there. I'm going to thin it out. And then you can have this, you made a few of those, stack them up and have that be your address line if you choose to do that, or you can just freehand it. So if I wanted to make this, making it black here. And then again, because I'm lazy, I'm just doing Control C, Control V. I do not have a Mac. You guys are on your own. I'm going to line it up using those guides. Do it again, Control C, Control V, and line it up again. There we go. So if I want to move these down, I'm just going to highlight all three of them. And I'm going to move the whole section down. Could add a fourth line, whatever you want to do. All right, so now we've gone through this. Let's go back over here and check out how you can do this in Canva. Bless you. I love it when people sneeze like Disney princesses.
She's gonna pick them out.
I'm like, ah! And I have to do it in threes. So in here, this one's a little bit, you have just more options with this, right? Because it's not just KW. So when we type in the word card, it's going to give us a million different things. But here it does give us options: birthday card, thank you card, wedding card. What do you mean? So let's do birthday card since we haven't played with that yet. And again, you can see how there's two images here. This is so you can fold it. I just clicked the first one. But that way you can kind of see where the fold is. So let's go back though. Because they also have like the postcards and everything. So let's type in birthday card again. In this search, it is pretty good to know what you're trying to say. So here's another example. Now, again, I only ever do the free version of things. So if you've not used Canva before, if you see a crown, that means that's the paid version. I have classes that I teach where you can learn how to basically create a free version of this one that you like. You know, say you're like, oh, I really love the candles and the whole look of that. You can replicate it. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be fairly similar, using just bringing it up on one side and then like creating it to match. So it's a little bit of a pain, but you can do it for free, or there's a will, there's a way, or you can pay for the pro version if you so choose. If you see a money symbol, it just means that something in the design is like $1. So you can choose to pay to have that watermark removed off of that image, or you can change out the image that has the watermark on it. So scrolling through, you can kind of see those. This one looks like it's probably going to be a postcard. Let's find one that has two. I'm going to come over on this side actually. So see how it has category? There's card, landscape. Some of those are still social media posts. here's a postcard. So if I click this, now I'm filtering for just postcards. Some of these don't have a second page built in, it looks like. Here you go. Here's one where if I hover over, it says 1 of 2. That's how you know there's a ready-made second, like back. This one here, I'm hovering over, nothing's showing up over here, and it's not switching. So that tells me it does not have a back. I would have to add a page and make my own back. I'm too lazy for that, so I'm going to click this one. So if you guys aren't using Command for your database, however you're tracking things, Command does help you use or add birthdays in there as well. So I know we're coming up on the holiday season. We're kind of focusing on that. But for the new year, wouldn't it be cool if you also sent birthday cards to everybody? So you can kind of keep track of that. If you're doing something like a birthday card, I would not necessarily recommend doing the print through version. I would just download it as a PDF and just get it either printed yourself or through like Walgreens doing one single. This, you're not really going to see the benefits unless you're printing more so in bulk using Canva. Same with Command. So this one's really cute. I love that. You can put their name on here. This one's nice. And actually, if you wanted to, you could print this in bulk since it doesn't have their name. If you add their name in, it does look a little more personalized, but then you're not able to print it in bulk. So it's kind of up to you as far as what you want to do there. And with Canva, a lot of the images are ones that you're able to change. So here, this one, you can see I can edit the color. So if I want to make it pink, I can do that. And then anytime you change one color, it gives you the option to change all of what you just did to make life a little bit easier for you. So there you go. Now all of that's changed very quickly. Another thing you can do though, for this, it's going to look bonkers bananas. But if you come over to the styles section, maybe you want to have different colors on there, but you really just don't want to have to think about it. Click the styles page and you can kind of click through different options there. That one's actually kind of cool. So I clicked styles, I came down and it has all these different options of colors that I can use. So if you do free or the color palettes, you can scroll through and see all these different ones to choose from. Find a color you like the most, which is this one here. And I can just shuffle the colors. So again, I kind of like that one. I think that's kind of neat. And then if I ever want to go back to the old one, you can just Control Z your way back to it. So for, say I want to put in my own logo or something like that. If you have a logo ready to go, let's see. Say I want to do, I don't have one myself. We'll do, pretend this is my logo, or this is like the Burns group. Say Holly's making this and she wants to throw her logo on there. You can upload the photo or the image on there. And I don't know if you know that you can search your own uploads as well to make life a little bit easier. So I typed in logo and that's how I was able to find these. So long as you're saving your images as things that make sense when you're uploading it into Canva. So I'm gonna go back in time. And then again, you could add something here, maybe well wishes from the Burns group, well wishes from Prosper Insurance, however that looks. Put that on there. If you wanted to add other elements, you can do that with these graphics. So one of the differences with Canva and Command, Canva has lots of additional graphics and stuff instead of you having to search for things, upload it into the system and add it. This one allows you to just immediately find things. And it does look like it's got some smart features, like it's assuming I want more birthday stuff. So it's giving me birthday ideas. I'm gonna throw this guy on there. So you can move things around, change the shapes. Again, I don't want to go into too much of that because that's in my design basics. If you need help using Command and Canva for like the scaling and the editing text and those types of things, I'm touching on it very, very quickly. But I do have a true like video, I think it's called Design Basics, and that will walk you through how to do all of those things, adding backgrounds and that kind of thing. All right, so now I've got this one. Because this one is pretty neutral, I'm going to pretend like I'm ordering in bulk. And actually I might, because these are really cute. So it's got my front page, my back page. If you only, maybe you were playing around with a bunch of different ones, you can select what pages you want to do. What size, and here's your dimensions. So 5.5 by 4.25 or 7.1 by 5.5. A lot of times people recommend doing the larger size because those don't get lost when they're shuffling through the mails quickly. So I'm going to click it is more expensive, so pick what's in your budget, but the large do typically not get lost when you're handling the mail as easily. And then it has your options for your paper quality. I love that Canva starts you at the premium, so you can only ever have premium as your minimum. And then you have your deluxe, and it has the GSM. I don't know what GSM means. You can Google that. But it does give you it gives you a description. And then hemp, if you're wanting to be a little crunchy. I am kind of crunchy, so we're gonna. Alex is nodding her head. She's like, yes, also. So you can do this. I'm gonna actually. Oh no, I'm sorry. Crunchy is in like a hippie. Yeah, what is the difference? So hemp is going to be more textured. It's going to be more, think of like when you used to recycle paper in grade school. It's going to feel like that. No, crunchy term, boho. So I'm actually switching it back to premium because I don't want you to have sticker shock from the hemp paper. So I put it on here. Do I want envelopes or not? So this is kind of cool that they add like this feature on there. Of course, being that these are postcards, I don't need that. But if you were doing the cards, then you can get those through Canva as well. So that's nice. So I'm going to change, we're going to say 100 postcards. I'm going to click continue. And again, just like the last one, it's doing a final check, just making sure that there's no writing outside of in those red lines. And just like Command, it's going to make you download your PDF to make sure you approve. And there's your watermark. I love that it does that because the reality is you could have downloaded it without. Looks great. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to come back in and I'll just do checkout. And here are my options. So it does allow for free. You'll put in your information. I'm going to say 96. I was like, don't type in your actual address, Christy, and I still did. So here's my address there. We'll deliver to. If you're doing things like business cards, sometimes you can have them picked up next day at like a FedEx, but some of the cards and different projects, they'll actually ship it straight to your house. So it wants me to put in the rest of my information. There we go. Continue. And then here's your payment option. So it is a flat 48. They didn't tack in on anything additional at the end. So I just wanted to show you that because it's not one of those plus, So those are the basics with everything. Again, you can search more like Christmas or Nikita Minest, what was their holiday that they just celebrated on the, is it 24th? The 24th is theirs. Let's see, happy holidays. Keep it neutral. And you can just type in a phrase like that again and just do this category. And that's going to allow you to find what you're looking for. So again, postcard, invitation, I'll click postcard. So here are all of my options there. So that was the main stuff on here that I wanted to show you. Let's go back to, but there's one other site that I want to show you that does postcards for you. And these are actually going to be more like lead generation postcards. So breakthroughbroker.com. There's a bunch of different ones. This is the one I like to use because, again, all of my stuff is free. So I use this one here. You can do a paid version that allows you to have more access to more things in the Get Plus. But for just my own purposes, I'm going to type in postcards. And here you go. So happy holidays. And this allows you to edit things, but you can only change what's actually already on there. So you can edit the text to a degree. You can edit your photo, you can edit certain things, but you can't move stuff around like we have been able to in all the other ones. So let me show you this one. Get started. All right, so here I can click into things. Nope, nope, can't click into that. Can click into this one. I'm gonna pitch its paid version to me. But see, I can't click any of the background. I can't change any of that. I can't make it branded to my specific colors or something like that. And then this, where's my view back? I can edit this language here. I can edit my information. Oh my goodness. But I can't change too much else. So this one here, you can see the KW. It looks like I have added in the past the Keller Williams part that is in white. So this I would want to change. Maybe this one is locked. Yeah, this one is locked specifically. That was sneaky. I'll go find another free one. Usually it has like a little, you know, like Amazon Prime has like the banner on it. It's like free. They tricked me on that one. But anyway, so you can just change the thing there. I'm going to come into this one here, getting away from the holiday kind of themes or birthday themes. Let's look at this one. So this has your like a series. And this one, let's see, mailing campaign instructions. Get started. Okay. So it's got those. If I wanted to change things out again, I can. See this, why is it? Okay, this has changed on me too. It used to warn you ahead of time that it was locked. I used to talk a lot about lighter side of real estate, and they did something similar. Maybe Breakthrough Broker is doing the same as lighter side of real estate. If you ever go back and look at some of my older videos, they had a ton of free content, and they've actually locked everything down to be behind the membership wall, so you can't get any of the free stuff anymore. Let's see, because what this has been doing up until recently is allowing you to download, have free 10 free downloads a month. So this is where I have gotten a lot of my stuff. If you've ever seen some of my listing things and all this, you just keep clicking around until I find one here. Okay. This one does not have, I think this one's going to be truly free. So. And you could still get these out in time. 10/20, you could make a happy Halloween postcard. Or you could print these off and use them with Prosper's cards, but they have really cute ones. So view back. Here's my guy here. I just want to show. Okay, so I clicked on the one you can see that was in fact the case, is that my Keller Williams is in white. I'm going to upload a new logo. No, it's actually in pictures. Pictures, can you have logos? I've downloaded all of the different ones. Let's do full red and gray. I'm going to hover over and find my PNJ, just because PNJ is a higher resolution than a JPEG. Oh, well, pretend like I didn't just crop that badly. And there you go. Wonderful. Change these as I need to, and we're good to go. Now, what I want to show you though is when you click free download on this, it says how many you have remaining for the month. And so what I recommend doing is maybe once a month, sitting down and downloading everything that you want to, getting all your 10 in one day so you don't forget. And then you can go in the next month and do your next 10. So this is a great resource. It does look like they put a few more things back behind the membership wall than they used to, which isn't a problem because again, it's free. How are you going to complain when it's free? So there you go. And then print and ship. They too also have the printing option. I personally have not sat down and gone through Command versus Canva versus Breakthrough to really get an estimate of what the printing cost is between them. I have printed quite a few things through Canva, and when I compared Canva to like a Vistaprint, it was competitive, and if not better. So there you go. But anyway, I'm not going to walk through this process, but it's the same as what we've been doing. You're going to have to say, yes, it's perfect. The watermark on anything? Yeah. No, not to my knowledge. Again, I have not printed anything through them, but not to my knowledge, no. Oh, no, nope, nope. Yeah, exactly. I mean, again, like that's the thing. It's like I can't really complain when you're giving free. That was what Lighter Side used to do, because they had free stuff, but they would watermark the background of things to say Lighter Side of Real Estate. But no, Breakthrough does not do that. Okay, so in my last few minutes here, I'm going to run back over, because that's all that I had for today, prior to being asked about door hangers. So I'm going to show my door hangers next. Does anyone have any questions on what I've shown today though, thus far? Yes, ma'am. Yes, yeah. So I have been pleased with the print quality. Yes. I did the most basic. I haven't done any of the premium stuff, or the deluxe stuff, I should say. But I have liked the quality of it. I haven't. Though I mean, honestly, I imagine that it looks great. The only reason why I haven't, Big Daddy KW, don't get mad, is because I've been able to like edit things in Canva, make my own designs, and then I just keep it in Canva. Technically, I could download it, load it into designs, and like price compare. But nah. So, okay. So that was everything there. Confetti, yay. Okay. Let me hop over to so I'm going to type in, I do this every time, and I swear I have not saved it as door hanger, but I'm still going to type it in and check. So whenever I type something in, oh, yay, look, it is. I'm probably updated that the last time. So projects, you can search your own project names. So sometimes, like if I do templates, it doesn't really give me what I'm looking for, but I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Let me toggle back over to projects. So if you name things properly, especially, and I say that because in Canva, when you click on something, a lot of times it's like blue pastel birthday postcard is what that last one was called. So I'm going to want to make sure that I name that like something that's more searchable for myself. So here is my door hanger that I made. And I do want to make clear that I am a good replicator. I am not necessarily a designer always. So what I did is I went on to, Etsy, and I found cute little ones, kind of like what Alex was saying today. She has her little cards that we're going to attach to our pop buys. She found those on Etsy. Truthfully, if she had wanted to take the time to make them and cut them out, then she could have replicated something similar, but she was also on vacation. We're not throwing any shade, obviously. There's also a time versus money kind of thing, right? So I say that because I went on here, I took the time, I replicated something. However, you can find stuff on Etsy as well if you choose to do that. What I did is I came on and basically made almost exactly what was on Etsy. Which I hope they don't see this. But I threw on like our equal opportunity, and I have my little photo here. I'm not just your neighbor, or I'm not just a real estate agent, I'm also your neighbor. And then my back says this. So I have it doubled because what I did is I made it so that this is an 8.5 by 11 standard cardstock sheet. I then cut it up the center. So I have front and back. Now my printer, what I chose to do is I printed the front in color so that I could have my photo in color. And then when I fed it back through to my printer, I had it in grayscale just to save some of my ink. And then for the back, how to actually hang it, I bought I think it's a 1.5 or 2 inch circle cutter. It was like $8. And cut them all, and then I put a little slice with scissors so that I could hang it onto the doorknobs more easily. And I mean, I just sat there and watched TV doing that. I have one of the little slicers. If you're cutting by hand, that might be a pain. I'd recommend getting one of the little guillotines or one of the little slicers or whatever. But yeah, these were super simple. And then you can just walk around the neighborhood and hang these all up. Especially if you're new to the neighborhood or new to real estate, this is a really good way to make sure all your neighbors know. There's nothing worse than seeing your neighbor have a for sale sign, someone else's name on it.
My neighbor, apparently she started at the same time as me. She's with Keller Williams.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah,
One of
to recruit her, but she's happy right now. Like, just wait, now we're better.
I know one of my neighbors. Oh,
Oh, sorry. They might be great.
No, they're not. Well, this is better. I agree with you.
we're gonna just hope that the recording didn't catch any of that. No, you're fine. Maria will edit it out. Maria, cut here. So I have a neighbor that did the same thing. She started the same time as I did. She's KW Town Center. I'm like, I wish I had known. I mean, like, obviously, like we started almost at the exact same time.
Yeah.
So, you know, if her sign is in someone's yard, I'm okay with it. But it's gotta be one of the two of us. She's literally one street over. She's the only one I'll share with. Anybody else? No. So, any questions on the door hangers? Don't do it on a windy day. I will say that was a mistake I made one time.
How about the little plastic bag hangers?
Mm-hmm.
To put material in,
Mhm.
because I was gonna use some of the, the previous Popeye we did.
Yep.
With the air freshener. and
Yep.
so on. I was gonna put those in there too, but I'll pick your brain for ideas. This
Mhm.
creative. I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Give me a copy and then we'll talk. Yeah. So what she was saying is she has bought, Tanya has bought the door hanger plastic bags. So that is something that you could do if you wanted to throw a pop by in there, hanging on there with something else as well. You can certainly do that. Pop buys, a lot of times, like if you can knock, obviously you want to see your clients, chat with them, hand it to them directly. you don't have time for that, you're inundated with meetings and you just don't want to like miss it, you can just set it on their porch and like maybe send them a text like, hey, I'm running around, but I wanted to say hello. I said I'd pop by on your porch whenever you get home from work or something like that. So you can certainly do it either way. Obviously best to like try and catch your clients. Door knocking, same thing. If you have the time where you can actually like knock and try and hand it off to them directly, or you can just, you know, lawn service style, put it on there and run. So, wave at the Ring camera. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Okay, you are welcome. I'm going to go ahead and end it. Thank you for joining us, guys. Have a good rest of your day.